Well, hello there, fandom. What's going on out there? MCU fans, how y'all doing? How's everybody doing on YouTube these days? This is Jeff S., the co-host of the MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. I am also known as True Knowledge by some, lesser than others. And I am here jamming out a MCU news special here with a good a good friend of the program, Renee. Renee's here from the sakar.freeforums.net fandom uh, discussion board and the Podcast of Champions YouTube channel and podcast, and is also regularly becoming a regular, basically, guest on the Bleeding Edge. So, welcome to the Bleeding Edge once again, Renee. It's good to have you.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. Renee and I are going to solo it up. We're a duo tonight. And I just want to just really quick just shout out and say thank you to everybody out there that catches this video. This is actually Sunday evening, but by the time you guys catch this, it'll probably be Monday afternoon, Monday night, Tuesday, and we appreciate your likes and you ringing the bell, and dropping a comment or anything like that, regardless of when you end up catching the video. But we appreciate all of you. Thanks to all of our subscribers. You guys are all great. Thank you for all the support that we get from all the people in the fandom. And we're going to jump right into it. And so basically, what we've got for y'all guys is, and pardon me, I'm using a little bit of a different angle here with my shot here with my video take this show. I'm using my other laptop for once to kind of try something different. But so basically, we've got a whole lineup of articles that I think are going to be pretty interesting to delve into, and I'm just going to kind of jump in and lay them out and kind of let Renee fill in the gaps as we go. So just to start off with, we have from the New York Times, Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal on the future of Spider-Man and the MCU. The producers of No Way Home address questions about another trilogy, possibly putting MJ in a Spidey suit and convincing reluctant actors to reprise their roles. And I'm just going to basically try to give this a skim, y'all. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but essentially, No Way Home collected $50 million from Thursday preview screening that started at 3 p.m., according to Sony Pictures Entertainment. This article, of course, came out, let's see, on December 17th, so it came out a little while ago. It was the third highest preview result on Hollywood's history books, behind Avengers Endgame and Star Wars The Force Awakens. For the weekend in North America, No Way Home, which received sensational reviews, could surpass 150 million in ticket sales. It already did. No movie has managed more than 90 million in opening weekend sales since Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker in 2019, according to ComScore. No Way Home, directed by John Watts, marks the end of a trilogy starring Tom Holland as Peter Parker and Zendaya as MJ, his plucky romantic counterpart. But the 200 million sequel also represents the culmination of nearly 20 years of Spider-Man movies, 8 in total, because it draws in characters unseen since Spider-Man 3 in 2007 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 2014. Two people have been involved with the franchise in one capacity or another since its start: Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige. As the top movie executive at Sony from 1999 to 2015, Pascal was responsible for the first live-action Spider-Man movies. She has produced the last 3. Feige worked on the early Spider-Man movies in various capacities, initially in relative obscurity, and has been a producer of the last 3 in his role as president of Marvel Studios. The two spoke to me via video from their homes in Los Angeles. These are edited excerpts from the conversation, including, beware, some No Way Home spoilers. Now, just to slim this down, let's start with an easy one. Kevin, please lay out your future Marvel Cinematic Universe roadmap for Spider-Man. I want details. Feige, what's the next MCU crossover movie? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness coming in May? Maybe that Fantastic Four reboot? Don't say I don't know, because I know you know. Feige, he's going to show up sometime. The when and the where, of course, is the fun part, and the part that we don't talk about. Well, that's typical Feige. That's the kind of answers he usually typically gives. What about the next standalone Spider-Man movie? Amy, you said last month that you and Kevin, Sony and Disney, are going to collaborate on 3 more, which seemed to catch the studios by surprise. Pascal, we're producers, so we always believe everything will work out. I love working with Kevin. We have a great partnership along with Tom Rothman, who runs Sony and has been instrumental, a great leader with great ideas. I hope it lasts forever. That sounds like a classic Hollywood walkback from the New York Times. Feige, Amy and I and Disney and Sony are talking about, yes, we're actively beginning to develop where the story heads next, which I only say outright because I don't want fans to go through any separation trauma like what happened after Far From Home. That will not be occurring this time. Okay, so basically, I'm going to have you jump in right here, Renee. I don't know how familiar you are with Kevin Feige in interviews. You know, like what you typically get from him when he answers questions and stuff like that. But that's very typical of him. Very, you know what I mean? Very typical of him, and the fact that he's never going to give you like a straight answer usually on anything. But so basically, Pascal already came out like before this article came out and flat out said that they're going to make another trilogy with Tom Holland Spider-Man, right? So
yeah,
at that point, right? Can you feel them kind of walking the whole thing back a little bit, but at the same time not wanting to like scare anybody?
The only thing I would have to say about if they were to do another trilogy with Tom Holland, I think they're going to be piling too much Marvel in, you know, because you're going to have the Spider-Man competing, in essence, with the rest of the MCU over with Disney. So, and that's one thing I've been kind of worried about this whole startup of this new.
Well, hold on a
Phase
minute.
4.
You're talking about in a reality where they make other Spider-Man films with these other actors.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just talking about basically specifically another trilogy with Tom Holland Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they've already just done 3, and now you've got all these other MCU characters that are going off in this specific universe, or at least phase of the saga. And if you've got Spider-Man now, you're going to have to tie him in some way to what's going on in the MCU, or Spider-Man goes off in his own universe. He gets lost into another universe, and he's not connected with, you know, whoever's left over there, Hawkeye and all these guys, and Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. They're in their own universe, and then Spider-Man's off in his universe. I mean, I could maybe see something like that happening, but if it's going to be a straight Spider-Man where he's living in continuity with these other films, it's going to be too much content.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
It's going to be in the MCU, Renee. If they do a trilogy, it's going to be in the MCU. Sony will be the main producer of the films still. You know what I mean? Like, but there's no way that Spider-Man will stay in the MCU. Like, he'll be a part of that.
No. What I'm saying is that regardless of who's producing it, the storylines themselves, the narrative. If the narrative is running contemporaneously with what's going on with the Avengers set, it could get too much stuff to have to remember, too many things to tie up to keep the story and the plots all where you're not confused. But if they would, he could still be living off, you know, so, and at some point come back to the Avengers. So let's just call it our universe. He'll come back to our universe.
So you saying you don't think they're going to do a trilogy?
No, I have no clue if they're going to do one or not. I'm just saying if they did it, I'm afraid if they do 3 Spider-Mans, and then they've got Guardians of the Galaxy, they've got Doctor Strange, they've got a couple of Avengers, you know, and then they've got all these other things they're trying to introduce, like
that's what they do, though, Renee. That's the MCU. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but you can get too much of a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
You honestly
If
think there's too much that you think another trilogy of Spider-Man films could be too much of a good thing? You know, Spider-Man is like the most popular Marvel
oh,
superhero out there.
I'm saying they're gonna burn the characters out.
Well, we'll
You
see.
know.
I mean, look how much
Hmm.
money this Spider-Man film already made. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I agree. I
I mean,
agree. Yeah, I
it's
think
gonna
there's.
by the time it's all said and done, the box office profits from this film are gonna be like literally like higher than the ones for Infinity War.
Yeah. Well, I agree. But what I'm saying is, how many more Spider-Man mashups do we want to see? I
Mm-mm.
mean, okay, the first one we just saw was or the last of
Renee,
the
you're not gonna
trilogy we
see
just
another
saw
one.
was.
That's it. That multiverse stuff is done after this. After Doctor
Mm-hmm.
Strange,
Mm-hmm.
after Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, this whole
Mm-hmm.
multiverse deal becomes put in the back seat. You see what I'm saying?
Will become. So you're saying that it'll all be sewed up by then.
There'll still be multiverse stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like it'll still be a part of the MCU to some extent. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, I mean, Kang is going to come from the multiverse. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to get multiverse. My point is this whole deal where we got you know where we got Tobey Maguire and we got Andrew Garfield. This was a one-time
Mm-hmm.
event that was a part of this multiverse trilogy with WandaVision, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange 2. Once they wrap up this whole arc in Doctor Strange 2, there won't be the next Spider-Man trilogy that comes out next will be featuring basically, I would assume, a premise where it would be Spider-Man Peter Parker in college, okay? And fighting
Mm-hmm.
crime on the streets of New York, like typical everyday your neighborhood Spider-Man, you know, and then at
Mm-hmm.
some point they're going to do something with him and Venom.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's how it goes, I'm just speculating on it. Well, let me ask you this: how much longer do you want to watch a young? How much longer is Tom Holland going to be able to play a teenager or a young man? I mean, what, he's 35.
What are you
At some
kidding
point,
me?
it's going
What are you talking about? Tom Holland is 18 years old.
to.
He's
I
18. I
think
think
that.
he just turned
I think he.
18. Yeah,
But
he's
anyway,
18
but
years
you know what
old.
I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
No, he
Let's
can
put it
listen.
this.
He can
Let's
look,
put it this
Renee.
way.
Tom Holland can
Uh huh.
play college age Peter Parker.
Okay. Yeah, well, they can. They got that wonderful youth up
They
special
don't even
effect they
need
do.
that with him. He's a young guy,
Let me put it this way. Just
35 years
speaking for
old.
myself. Just speaking for myself. I don't really care if they do a Spider-Man trilogy. I really don't, because I mean, I'm okay with the character and whatnot. It's never really been my favorite. Excuse me. It's never been my favorite. Uh, I mean, I'm just trying to think about how I would feel. Because honestly, if I have a Marvel movie every other month, and then you've got the TV shows piling up on Disney. I mean, to me, it's going to say at some point I'm going to start turning some of it off. You know what I'm saying? It's just going back. There's going to be other things that I want to look at, quite frankly. And but yeah, but just speaking for myself. But who knows? They may, like you said, they may walk it back. It may Pascal may have been just, shooting her mouth off for negotiation reasons, because they have to share the wealth, as it were, with the characters. But yeah, so who knows? Maybe so.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the rest of this article is pretty like boring. It's not all that interesting to talk about. Like they do mention this actually kind of interesting thing at the end of it where this is a question from the New York Times. I think you'll like this, Renee. One last question for you. What is the truth about how the Pascal Feige producing collaboration started? My understanding is that you, Amy, then running Sony, made the 2014 Amazing Spider-Man sequel, which was rather wobbly, and that you called Kevin and said help. Pascal, that is the truth. I called Kevin and said help, and then he came over to my office for lunch and said, I know how to help you. And then I threw a sandwich at him. Feige, she said, I really want you to help on this next movie. We have these great ideas for the next one. It's amazing stuff. And I said, I'm not good at that, giving advice and leaving. The only way I know how to help is if we just make the movie for you. Cut to the flying BLT or whatever it was. Feige, it was a pretty low-key sandwich. I don't remember what kind, but yeah, she did not like that suggestion. Pascal, and then Kevin called me and came over to my house and said, I have an idea. What if Tony Stark makes Peter's suit? And as soon as he said that, I understood the possibilities of what we could do together. To have Iron Man and Spidey in the same world, one rooted more in technological innovation, the new suit, and less in medical experimentation, which is where we were confined before, felt so much more modern. It has taken a lot of work, but just look at the results. Pretty fantastic, right? And now that's pretty much the end of the article. But that's pretty neat, you know. That's isn't that kind of cool that's how Kevin Feige pitched that whole thing to her?
Yeah, because Feige, I think Feige, as much as he wants to make money for himself and for Marvel and for Disney, I think he's a guardian of the Marvel characters and of their stories and whatnot and their legacy. And I think he
Me
wants
too.
to do what Stan Lee did. He wants to keep the integrity of
Yes.
it together and not start doing all this crappy gimmicky stuff that they often will do sometimes just to keep making money on a we saw it with Jaws. Every Jaws after the first one got worse and worse and worse, and then all the clone movies started coming out and just garbage Shark Week stuff. And the only movie in the whole Jaws verse I care about is the first one.
It's the most
The rest of
incredible
it,
thing in the world.
Yeah, I hear you. I do. I agree with you. I do. I think you're 100% right. I I've talked to other people about this subject before when it comes to Kevin Feige. I'm not going to pretend that like I know that much about Kevin Feige personally because I don't. Um, I think that he's a brilliant guy. I think that honestly, I know this is kind of a stretch, but I honestly think that some people, even to this day, I think that there are people out there that honestly that don't value how uniquely talented Kevin Feige is. Because, did you ever see when they did the Disney Investors Day event like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago or whatever, where Kevin Feige came out and he did that presentation and he explained everything that was going to come out in phase 4 and phase 5?
no, I don't recall. I don't recall seeing that.
Well, basically, he did this event, and it was kind of like the same thing as when he goes to Comic-Con, and he
Mm-hmm.
and he like, and he talks about what's going to be coming next for for Marvel and stuff like that. It was like
Mm-hmm.
that, and he pitched like everything that was going to be coming out: WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Eternals, the Black Widow movie, all of it. And it was like really intense, and he delivered it so well, like on
Mm-hmm.
television. Like, his presentation was excellent. So he's very multifaceted, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like he's very talented, like overall. Like he's not just like a one note guy or whatever. Like he's got a lot of layers to him.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah, and he seems like he's very dedicated to just this. He's not like he's going off and doing. I mean, he's not going off and producing non-science fiction type
well, you
movies.
got to
You know
figure,
what I'm
Renee.
talking about?
Let's be honest here. You got to figure that you got to remember too. He's in charge of the comic book part of Marvel now too, not just the film.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. He's now in charge of the comic book part of Marvel too. So basically, like when it comes to the comic books, like the comic book part of Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
he, he's responsible at the end of the day for what
Yeah, so
happens in the comics.
he's just totally dedicated to Marvel. So yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
completely
that's
at
what
this
you're saying
point.
now.
You know what I mean? And he also is now in. He's not when Disney bought Marvel, right? uh,
Mm-hmm.
Marvel got rid of Marvel Television Unit,
Mm-hmm.
which is who handled all of the Marvel Netflix series, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was headed by a different person than Kevin Feige. When Disney
Mm-hmm.
bought Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige got rid of um Marvel Television, and he took over the television aspect of Marvel.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? Like, so like he was integral with Disney Plus and everything and setting that all up. You know what I mean? So well, my point is, you got to figure that he's a busy guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Very much so.
I don't think he has time to devote time to like other projects and stuff like that, or other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I have a feeling that the guy already works a lot to begin with. I think he probably does. You know, I mean, they've got so much going on. I mean, I've heard rumors, Renee, that they've said that they already have like another 20 or 25 like unknown projects that they haven't disclosed yet that are going to come out in like the next 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Okay. We'll see.
You know?
Well, it sounds exciting. It does sound exciting.
Yeah, it does.
You know, find out what you say. Well, what are they going to do? And you know who I'd like to see him bring, and they just only had a smidgen of him. That was Starcar. The Sly Stallone plays him in the Guardian. Just little bits of him here and there. But Starhawk, his superhero Starhawk, very interesting character. I would like to see them bring him in. So maybe that's one of the 25 down the road we can speculate on.
So, okay, next article from giantfreakingrobot.com. I love that name. Very good. So, this article basically is Avengers 5 full new lineup revealed, includes Wolverine, and I want to go ahead and put an asterisk on this. Or an asterisk, excuse me. This article is actually 1 year old to this day. So it's a year old. But I still thought it was interesting. And basically, this article gets into Avengers 5. And basically, what we've got is them saying full lineup for Avengers 5, ? One of the big rumors making the rounds is that the full lineup Marvel is planning for Avengers 5 is already set. Here's what scoopers are claiming will be the superheroes appearing in Avengers 5. Captain Marvel as the new team lead. I don't believe that. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, She-Hulk, War Machine, Sam Wilson as Captain America, Shang-Chi, Yelena Belova as a new Black Widow, Shuri as a new Black Panther. I really don't want to see that happening at all. Personally, I just don't. Sorry, all of you Shuri lovers, but I do not want to see Shuri as the Black Panther. And yes, a yet to be cast Wolverine. Consider this just a rumor for now. It's still very early in this process, and even if this really is the lineup Marvel has in mind currently, it could totally change by the time the Avengers 5 finally arrives in theaters years from now. Blah, blah, blah. Captain Marvel and Avengers 5. By the time Avengers 5 rolls around, pretty much all the original Avengers will have retired, and that'll leave characters like Spider-Man and Captain Marvel as the longest-standing members in the team. So you can assume that Captain Marvel is going to figure pretty prominently into whatever happens in Avengers 5. In fact, lately we're hearing that Captain Marvel 2 will be the movie Marvel uses to set up Avengers 5. It'll work much in the same way Captain America Civil War set up Avengers Infinity War. It also probably means Captain Marvel 2 will contain a lot of other superheroes that are slated to become the new great of Avengers. Let's see. To get Captain Marvel in Avengers 5, though, Marvel had to agree to give up a few things. Brie Larson had demands, and word is those demands have now been met. Among those demands was the notion that Brie Larson's character had to be the new leader of the Avengers. I didn't hear this. So she can get top billing. She'd take that role over more established and financially successful characters like Spider-Man, but she wanted it, and apparently word is that she has gotten it. In addition, according to WGTC, Brie Larson demanded she be paid the same amount as her male co-stars. That does not surprise me. That includes the ones playing bigger name characters like Spider-Man. Those demands have now been met as well, according to various sources. I don't believe all that. But basically, they then get into the battle to lead the Avengers, who's going to lead the Avengers next. Spider-Man or Captain Marvel. I don't think it'll be either of them. Hulk for Avengers 5. Mark Ruffalo, who plays Bruce Banner in the Hulk, appeared on Graham Norton's show and talked about what's next for the character. He started out saying, I don't know, but then he went further and admitted that given what he's been told, it is supposed to be over and that Endgame was supposed to be the end. I don't know if I believe that either, but again, this is a year old. So basically, Renee, what do you think of that lineup that they came up with?
I don't know. It's
Do you want me to repeat it to you again?
no, you don't have to repeat it. I mean, there's only like a few that even sparked my interest. That would be Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel. Yeah, bring in Spider-Man. I mean, but do I want to see all of them? No, I don't want to see all of them at one time. Come on, let's give characters some time to form their characterizations. This thing that I've kind of keep going back to is like, do not forget who the characters are. Do not forget what they mean in their what their quest is in the story. Instead, a lot of they want to go for the money, and then they start making it all, the so-called theme park ride, where it's just all thrills and chills and whoa and spectacular effects. You can get that anywhere. You can get that in any movie. I want to see real characters struggling with themselves, with their situations, and things like that. And if they get away from that, and if they get into this, which I'm fearing they very well might, just too much of a good thing, yeah, they're going to start losing a lot. They may make money, but they're going to start losing the heart and soul of it. And I hope that doesn't happen, but I sort of kind of get a feeling that it may.
Well, I'll tell you right now,
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself to be pretty informed as an MCU fan. Like I do pay attention to what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea about any of this stuff that they were talking about how Brie Larson had like stuff in her contract that she has to be the
Mm-hmm.
leader of the Avengers or whatever, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like I don't know about that. And it would not surprise me though if she would have demanded being paid equal salary to her
Mm-hmm.
male co-stars or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um that wouldn't surprise me. Although I don't know, you tell me. It doesn't that seem like a kind of a weird stipulation to have in a contract because doesn't that then force the studio and the parent company to then have to acknowledge the amount of money they're paying the other actors?
That's all stuff they're doing. The actors and producers and writers, they're earning a living. It's a gig to them, and so I don't blame them for whatever they want to get out of it. Um, the nuts and bolts, the business part, the evil old capitalism quite at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about because it's Marvel is like it comes out of the dream factory. It is a product no less than an automobile. So I kind of get you start getting into all that. Yeah, I mean, there again, you start bringing all this political crap into it, and you're going to ruin the fun for the fans and for everybody. I hope everybody gets along. I hope Brie Larson gets what she wants. But making
Yeah, but
crowing about it. Oh,
don't you think she
no.
should be? But hold on a minute though. Don't I don't mean to cut
Mhm.
you off, but don't you? But wouldn't you agree with me that she should be paid commiserate to like how good she is as an actress and like how well she does
Sure,
with Captain Marvel? Like, shouldn't that depend
sure,
on her pay?
absolutely, absolutely. But if she can walk into a production office and sell herself with her lawyers and her business managers and her team and behind her, and if she can get more money, you know, for it, more power to her. I mean, that's what we do in this country. So I'm not going to fault her for that. I just don't care about listening to it that much. I mean, it, frankly, I hope she keeps her business private. I hated that ScarJo, all that came out about her because that just kind of, it kind of. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm glad she got everything resolved, but I don't really care to, hear that much about it.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm glad that they got that resolved too. I never heard anything about as far as like details of how that all worked out. But I don't
Yeah.
need, like you said, I don't need to know.
Yeah, I
You
don't, I
know,
don't, I don't need to know. Yeah,
No, I don't need to
I'm
know
not.
either.
I'm not interested in the actress that much. I'm interested in the actress as she plays the character, the Black Widow. And if she brings that, and brings that home and hits it out of the park, that's what I want.
Well,
If she has a fallout with Kevin Feige, I could care less.
I think that again, this is a year-old article, right? And I think that like that's you got to take that into consideration. And I think that basically I would agree with a lot of the choices that they made pretty much for the most part as far as who they think will be on the team. I don't agree that I don't see how it even makes any sense that Wolverine would be on the next Avengers team. I don't understand
No,
that.
I wouldn't either. I
That
think
makes
that
no
might
sense.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what they would do it, because if they do that, then they're going to start opening it up to the whole X-Men verse, and I think we're kind of done with that for now.
No,
If
and
they want to,
but I do
if they
think I
want to do
do.
a Wolverine standalone, yeah, I mean, I'm for that.
Oh well, they're going to do the X-Men. You know that, Renee. At some
Hmm.
point, like that's
Yeah,
coming.
yeah,
I mean, that's a
oh yeah,
guarantee. There's going to be the
yeah,
X-Men
but
coming
they'll
out under
probably,
Marvel.
hopefully though they'll reboot the whole series though. I
They
think they
are going to
played the series.
well, yeah, that's what they're going
Yeah.
to do. I mean, they have the rights to the X-Men now. They do, like Marvel Studios does, because Disney bought Fox. So they are going to do their own version of the X-Men. They're not going to use any of the same actors that already played the X-Men.
Mhm.
No, that's all
Right. Yeah.
done.
That's
The Fox stuff's over.
yeah.
That none of those characters will ever pop back up with Marvel with that. But but we're a ways away from them doing the X-Men, and
Right.
I guess probably I would agree 100% probably with somebody like She-Hulk. I think it makes sense that She-Hulk would be on the Avengers. Like I get that.
Right. Hmm.
And it kind of makes sense too that like probably Mark Ruffalo won't be around for like Avengers 5. You know what I mean? Like I hope that he is, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone by then. Just because I mean, really the only person I can see coming back to the Avengers out of the original 6 is Thor. And he's missing
Uh
from
huh.
that list.
Right.
I do think Thor will come back. I do. He said he wants to pick it. They hope that he'd play the character for as long as they'll let him play it.
Well, I mean, Thor's kind of like who you sort of have to have a Thor.
Well, yeah,
Excuse me.
I mean, he's going to remain Thor. Like just because Jane Foster is going to become the mighty Thor in in Thor 4 doesn't mean that she's going to remain as Thor.
Well, I think doesn't he go by Thor? Just Thor Odinson. He becomes more of a. He becomes at some point in the comic series. He sort of steps back a little bit, and of course, he's still Thor because that's his name. That was his birth name, but he's not the mighty Thor. He's he's dealing with trying to be more like a human or something.
Yeah, something like that, kind of. Yeah, he does step back at one point in the comic books, and there was actually another person that became Thor, like
Hmm.
a human being that became Thor and like took over for Thor on the Avengers and everything. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head, but he did step in when Thor kind of took a break or whatever, or was in like another
Yeah,
dimension or something. You know what I mean?
and there are other Asgardian characters too that they've never really brought in that they might could bring some of these other people. They sort of killed off except for Sif, they killed off the three. What
Yeah,
do you call
yeah.
them? They
The
killed them
Warriors,
off.
the Warriors
You know,
3.
Warriors 3, but they're still Asgardians, and so I think, and then the Thor, because we've seen pictures of the set where they're actually trying to build Asgard or an Asgardian haven for the folks exiled from their home on Earth. I believe in Oklahoma, some
No,
such place.
no, it's in Sweden.
Yeah. Okay, so it's in Sweden.
Yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, I think we've seen set where
or
they built
Norway.
set. and they have like a little Asgardian village, but they built it in Australia. I think it was the movie was being made out there.
Do you
And
remember?
we've seen, yeah.
Do you remember? Um, in in Captain America, the first Avenger, when the Red Skull gets the Tesseract from the dude in the beginning of the
Yeah, I
movie.
know. Right, it's supposed to be where the Asgardian.
That's that
there's
right
an
there,
Asgardian
where that guy was with the Tesseract, Renee. That is where that is like that's Norway or whatever. That's where the new Asgard is.
But in the comics, isn't a new Asgard in Oklahoma?
Oh yeah, it's actually you're right. It's actually in the United States of America. The new Asgard is.
So
I'm
it
just
doesn't
talking
mean
about
that
the
they have to
MCU.
stay in Norway. They could be moving their colony from Norway or building a second colony in Oklahoma. Is what I'm saying.
It's possible. I mean, I don't see it happening, but I mean, from what I understood already, from what they've shown about Thor 4, the like the new Asgard that they're going to be showing in the movie is going to be the same one they already showed, which is the one that's in like Norway or Sweden.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see.
So moving on from
Well,
that,
I know that the Sylvie character, the Sylvie character is loosely based on a real person, or not real person, a real character, and she is from Oklahoma, and I think she plays a part in that building up that colony in Oklahoma. So
really,
I'm just wondering if they have Sylvie. They might. I think she actually knows the Don Blake character somehow. Now I'm talking about Sylvie.
Donald Blake is the guy I was talking
human.
about that filled in for
Yeah.
Thor.
Yeah, and she's friends, and I may have this all mangled up.
I think you do.
I think she was the Sylvie was a human that Loki enchants and turns into a character like him, whereas in the Loki TV series, she's actually was a Loki born in another Asgard. Anyway, I think I may have that all crossed up, but we'll see. We'll see. I like to speculate like things like that.
There's
And
nothing
half the
wrong with
time,
speculation. There's nothing wrong with
80% of the time, it
speculation.
never comes true. Sometimes I hit it on the money, though.
Well, check this out. We're gonna flip over to that new Batman 3 trailer, if I can get to it. Let's see here. Here it is right here.
Okay.
You should be able to see it. Can you see that? Yeah? Holy shit, that was good.
Yeah, that was a huge chunk of trailer.
That was actually more than I thought it was, Renee. I apologize. I thought it is just a teaser that says, but like there was a lot to that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot more. There was a lot of new stuff there. And I liked it. I'll tell you what. I don't care what anybody says. The more I hear Robert Pattinson do the voice of Batman and Bruce Wayne, I think he sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I really started thinking. At first, I was kind of, I didn't feel either way about it, about him playing the part. But I've seen a couple of the trailers and just seen how he looks, and he's really got a lean, just angry. I mean, I think he's going to bring a even darker edge to Batman than what Christian Bale did.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely different kind of like mentality and like emotional type like person, like Batman.
Yeah, there's one line where you hear the overlay of, well, he's not doing enough, and it's almost like, and you can almost feel like, well, what else, people, do you want me to do? But Batman's doing all he can to fight crime, and people are getting upset that he's not doing it the right way,
And he looks mad, like when he's driving the car and everything and whatnot, and you see his face, he looks pissed.
Yeah. He's wanting to get some blood out of somebody.
Yes, you could definitely tell that this is Batman year 2. Like this is this is his second year. You know what I mean? Like he's still like, the Batman that we got with Christian Bale had been Batman for a while. And this is a different type of Batman, and you also see in that trailer a little bit of the detective stuff that they've talked about. They're going to be have in the film.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. As far as that, I guess the Riddler is supposed to play a big part in this, and then I think
Oh yeah, the
some of
Riddler. Paul
yeah.
Dano sounds great as the Riddler. He does.
Yeah, they sort of kept him under wraps. You don't see a lot of him, so I think
No, but you hear him in
yeah.
that. But you hear him in that
Yeah.
trailer, though. You hear his voice.
Oh yeah. And then I thought we saw Bane. I guess they're toward the end. So
No, that wasn't Bane.
Wasn't
No,
Bane. Who was that? It
no,
looked like
that
he had
was
a thing
that
on his
that
face.
was the Riddler
Oh, okay. Well, he has something over his face, so
with the
I
weird
missed it.
mask on and everything and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was the Riddler.
Okay. Well, I stand corrected.
Yeah, no Bane in this one.
Okay.
But it was a good trailer. I mean, I think the Catwoman, the woman who's playing Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz, I think looks pretty good. And overall, I mean, this trailer just makes me even more excited about the movie. The movie's going to be coming out in like 4 months, so
Yeah, I think it'll do well.
yeah, I do too. I mean, I think that, I mean, it's unfortunate that it's not going to be a part of the extended DCU universe. It's going to be its own universe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
that's unfortunate. I would have liked to have seen them use this Robert Pattinson Batman like with the Justice League or whatever. Like that would have been cool.
Yeah, but I really want to see that. At the end of the director's cut Justice League, that very last scene, man, that's the movie I want to see.
You want to see them? You want to see them do the second movie that they should
Yeah,
have done.
the second movie, the Justice League,
where they fight Darkseid.
Yeah. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I don't know if my money, if I had to bet, my money would be that movie won't get made.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Even though the Snyder Cut did really well and everything, it did. And it really it was like a really like a form of like kind of redemption for the Justice League. I don't think it's enough to be able to head in the direction where they end up, but you never know. Like you said, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Things change. You never know. Like things mend between people. Like things. Sometimes things look pretty bleak, and then you never know with them.
Yeah, but that final scene, it was set up so well, and it looked beautiful. It was just a beautiful shot, and I loved it, and I loved the interaction between Batman
every day to improve their writing,
and how the Joker looked, and their little interaction there at the end, which I really liked.
Yes, no, I know what you're talking about. So, check this out, Renee. I've got something else over here, on my share screen, my YouTube. Something else for you to check out with me that I want to get your opinion on. And hold on one second, and I'll play it. Damn. Nice.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
Oh man, you don't even know, Renee. Um, you better watch out now, because now you're embarking into some serious, intense territory. Because uh, I'm actually gonna like mention in this video that we are gonna react to Band-Maid for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, the Band-Maid fandom is no joke. Like, it's big. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Okay.
like, so we'll get views on this and whatnot and everything, and we'll get comments in the comment section and everything. Like, people are
Okay.
going to pay attention to what you say now about
Okay.
this. So like, just to be clear, I want to let you know what you're exposing yourself to right now. You better
Okay.
watch what you say about Band-Maid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can say what you want. Don't get me wrong. I want your honest opinion and everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But just don't be surprised, like, if you don't, uh, come correct or whatever with Band-Maid, like, you got to watch out. Some of these people might get pissed off.
Okay.
But no, you already said it was pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, they're very professional. Very professional. They got it down. You can tell they put a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of hours into becoming as good as they are. Um, I really get a really good '80s vibe. That kind of the more music that I cut my teeth on when I was younger. Um, the only objection I have to them is the gimmicky outfits. Yeah, I get it; they're Band-Maid. They got maids outfits on, but
I like it.
it's yeah. I never liked Kiss.
But
I
you
love
understand
Kiss
something
music.
though?
I love Kiss except for their makeup and
But
crap.
no, Renee, the thing is just so you know,
Hmm.
I don't know, like, I don't know if
Hmm.
this would surprise you or not. Maybe you already would figure this or whatever.
Hmm.
But like, I'm not like the whole thing with the maid outfits doesn't do anything for me or whatever. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, I'm not
Hmm.
like, like, I don't think they look hot or whatever with them. It's not that. I just like how it looks like because they're Band-Maid. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean it's fine. I mean I don't. They can wear what they want because I'm there for them. I'm here to listen. My ears are attuned more than my eyes. But yeah, I just think come on, girl, come on, ladies, come on, women, dress like you want to. If
hey,
that's how they
let's.
want
I
to
mean,
dress, fine.
we all have different opinions. I like the gimmicky aspect of wearing an outfit.
Yeah.
I do. I kind of think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like adding that whole aspect to like their deal. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, if like what I mean, what else would you rather see them wear?
Just what they just regular clothes. Like any other rock band would. Just mainstream rock band that I can think of. I mean, not that they have to wear like Brooks Brothers or
Hey,
LLB
listen,
or anything.
Renee.
You know.
I think when you play as good as they do,
Hmm.
you can wear whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
You know.
why spend money on these silly looking outfits?
Well, either way, they rock out.
Anyway, that's beside the point. But
But no, I
the
mean,
fact
like
is,
seriously,
they're a really good band. They're a really good band. I really, I like their sound. I've listened to a few other cuts from them, and yeah, I like them.
what
I
about
hope
the
this is
chemistry? What do you
yeah.
think about the chemistry they have
Yeah,
live?
like I said, they have been working. You can tell they have been working together a long time. You know the old joke. The man walks up to a guy in New York and he says, "How do you get to Carnegie Hall?" And the man turns around and he says, "Practice." That's how you get to be good. You have to keep doing it every day, and you can tell they did that.
Well, they've
And
been
I
together
appreciate
since
that part.
they've been a band since 2013.
Yeah.
So,
But they
but
probably were long before that. They were probably practicing either with other bands or learning their craft,
yes,
learning how.
yes, I
Yeah,
believe that at least some of them
yeah,
were in other bands. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, they're professionals, and it shows. And more power to them.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know, you tell me. Um, I think this is very interesting because honestly, I'm not that big into music these days. I'm really not. But I
Mm-hmm.
do, but you know how I am when it comes to doing these shows, Renee. Like I like to make things entertaining for people and whatnot, and that means that I like to change it up and mix things up and bring in different ingredients and everything into the mix for the audience, just to like
Mm-hmm.
change the pace and everything like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's for me personally, there's an aspect of recording with certain people where um I look forward to like something like throwing a Band-Maid song in there with somebody like
Mm-hmm.
you, because I want to see what kind of reaction you have like
Mm-hmm.
vocally to it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
um just because like I know what kind of like reactionary person you are on other stuff. So, I find it interesting to see what your opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think that some people have made some really good comments to me in the comment section recently about the fact that there's really no point in trying to categorize this band at all. Like, it doesn't matter whether this is rock or metal or punk or
Mm-hmm.
what you label it. It's just
Right.
good.
Right. Yeah, that's me. I just like what's good. I was just noodling around last night, just listening to some songs, and I got on some old Motorhead and listened to that, and they did a really great cover of Heroes and of David Bowie's Heroes, and I like stuff like that. I'm kind of old school. I mean,
Well,
you
I
got
don't
to
know
remember
this whole story.
when I
Don't
started
go
when I
ahead.
started going to seeing concerts, the first concert, what I call really big rock, was the Allman Brothers, and that's when all the brothers were still alive. So you're going way back.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's my kind of music right there.
Well, check this out. I can't remember the exact factual details, but apparently Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin went and caught Band-Maid live
Hmm.
and like was totally blown away and like came backstage and wanted to like have his picture taken with the drummer,
Hmm.
Akani or Akari,
Hmm.
because he was so blown away by her energy on the drums.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
blocking you
Akari.
got a piece of paper.
Yeah, Jimmy Page.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
royalty right there.
Band-Maid is awesome. They are going to be touring the US in 2022. I have
Okay.
no idea how many dates or anything or where they're going to play, but they're definitely going to be here.
Well, I'll
I'd
keep
love
an
to see
eye
them
out
live.
for it.
Yeah, I would definitely love to see them live. I would. Um, and Renee, I'm thank you very much for uh enjoying the Band-Maid with me and sharing it with me and everything and whatnot. I really appreciate you. But
Hmm.
basically, folks, why don't we basically just go ahead and close it out here at this point, because we covered some stuff and Renee's got some stuff to do tonight and whatnot already. She's got some
Hmm.
other priorities besides this. So for
Hmm.
once, I'm actually going to try to like care about my guests' actual schedules and stuff and try to be a little concise and shorten this up. But Renee, I want to thank you again for coming on here with me and sharing this time with me and doing the show with me.
Okay, you're
Um,
welcome.
Great comments, great contributions as usual. And just so you know, folks, you can find the Renee for the first time on an actual episode of the Podcast of Champions from this Saturday. They're already out on the Podcast of Champions YouTube channel. the videos and the audio from the weekend shows or yesterday's shows that Renee was already on with the rest of the folks at the Podcast of Champions. The Podcast of Champions, sakar.freeforms.net, are big friends of the MCU's Bleeding Edge. And so shout out to everybody over there. And of course, like I said, you can find Renee over there. You can find her on the Bleeding Edge all the time pretty much these days. And so, I mean, overall, thanks to everybody out there that, like I said, that ends up supporting us with this video and whatnot. We really appreciate all of you. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Have a wonderful 2022. I wish you all the best. I wish all your families the best. And we will see you on the next one, I guess.
Okie dokie.
Yep. Say peace out, Renee.
Peace out and happy
Peace out.
2022. Bye-bye.